Welcome to another unboxing video, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing this pretty boy. It's a Tacx Neo 2T Smart Trainer, and I will admit I paid a very pretty penny for this, but there was a deal going on with one of the website stores, Tri Sports, that I'm a premium member with them, and I couldn't really pass up on the deal that they were offering. So I went and decided to go and splurge on this a little bit. And yeah, we've got this thing that I'm going to unbox. And it was time for my old trainer to get an upgrade. And why not do a serious upgrade with a smart trainer of this caliber? So that stated, I'm going to set this camera up in a little bit of a different position so that I can show you all the components and all the gadgetry that's in this smart trainer. Talk to you in a bit. Oh, man. Alright, here we go again. Yeah. This thing's 50 pounds, I think. I remember seeing the UPS guy delivers this to the doorstep, and he was definitely hobbling like, who the hell bought a 50-pound package? Well, I'm going to unbox this, as I've said a little earlier, and for those that don't know what a smart trainer is, it essentially is where you can basically ride a bicycle indoors. It's great in terms of you can ride, because you can ride indoors, you can go and perform all your training indoors. You could ride casually indoors while in the comfort of your home or wherever place that you are. What's special about this trainer is, one, it's a direct drive trainer, so I don't have to deal with wheel-on trainers that have wheels like this that I have to go and worry about and maintain. And I've actually had 2 flats, yes, on indoor trainer rides. I don't know how it happens, but it happens to me. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and hopefully never more. So that stated, so what this smart trainer is, of course, it measures power, measures cadence, kind of typical with smart trainers, but it also can measure left-right power, and it has some analysis, and the type of wheel that it is that controls the resistance is one of the heavier wheels, so it's probably a little bit more realistic compared to what I've been using before, what I have been using before, if I go and scoot over here, so this thing right here is my Ceres M2, or used to be called the Cyclops M2. This is an entry-level smart trainer. It has served me very well in that it's, of course I said it was wheel on, and it could go up to 1500 watts with about 5% accuracy, which is very good for 95% of the folks out there. But where I'm coming into play is I need that a little extra bit of tech, that little extra road feel, and I felt like it was time for me to move on from having to maintain road wheels and having to maintain a trainer wheel. And so I kind of wanted to get away from that and move to something that's a little bit more flexible, at least for what my training needs are. That stated, so again, this is what I think this is the 2020 version. I know there's going to be a few firmware updates, and I'll post a little bit more in terms of the Garmin apps. I know there's a few applications that are with this, and I'll get to that in a little bit later in the video. But for now, I'm going to unbox this and see what are the guts that are inside of this box. So, coming here, so this is, yep, opening this for the first time. Super stoked. I couldn't resist on a deal on this. So I went with Tri Sports, and they were having a deal that was basically $400 off from the retail on this. And I was like, well, if it was only $200, then wasn't really that interested. But at $400, I was like, well, all right, maybe this might be. I might bite a bullet here. So, as you can see, so directly just from this. So in here, I've got. This is the power cable. This can go 100 to 240. What's also special about the Smart Trainer is that you don't have to plug it in if you don't want to. So it's very portable, and as long as you're pedaling, it'll power itself. Then, all right, I've got an app. This is the assembly, more power cord stuff. These are skewers, which will allow you to fix for different configurations, which I'll probably need to look at the instruction manual to see that. I won't do a direct mount quite yet. I'll post that later. But continuing through with this, let's get rid of this phone. And here's the beauty of this thing. So, it folds up very nicely in this package. I'm going to kick this out in front. Man, it is heavy. I will say this is definitely heavy. Then I've got a front wheel. I'm going to do a few measurements to see if this is similar in terms of the profile, which I think it is compared to the base blocks that I have before. So normally I have one of these Cyclops base blocks, but now I have one of these. I don't have a kicker per se that can do the auto up and down, but I really don't need that. It's more of a gimmick in my opinion for those. So here, just reading through in the back here, reading in the back, we've got, of course, it's a direct drive. In terms of the amount of maximum power that it can measure, it could go up to 2200 watts with plus minus 1%. It can also go simulate a 25% grade, although I haven't seen anything, at least in Zwift, that will go that high. But I believe in Trainer Road you can simulate that if you want to. It's Shimano compatible, Campagnola, SRAM compatible as well, although I think there might need to be a few changes. But I have a Shimano group set, so that isn't a worry thing. That isn't something I need to worry about. And from there, it's ANT and Bluetooth sensitivity. I've got an ANT Plus sensor, so that's no issue. And it can sense speed and cadence, which is similar to my entry-level Smart Trainer, but what's also special about this is that it can also sense left and right power, which I think is very nice, and it's a lot more mobile. So as you can see from just this right here, it can fold up. My other trainer, I can fold this up too, but it's kind of wonky in terms of the size. So looking forward to going and seeing this out here. Now, this can also fold in and out. Move some of this out of the way. And show you how it folds in and out. So from here, again, this is heavy for a reason. Ooh. I'm probably doing this wrong, but there we go. I flipped it the right way. Ooh, man. Oh my goodness, and it powered up already. So, again, this is the size of it. It's pretty nice, I must say. I'm looking forward to giving this a real-life try. This, of course, is now going to replace my N2 that I previously had. if I recall, I believe these are the unlock levers. I've got to go, of course, read the manual before I go and try to mess around with this a little bit more, but I do recall these are the lock mechanisms that you can unlock it here and you can store it. And then on the underside, just to show a little bit what's happening here, this is a pretty steady construction. This is not anything, this isn't anything to take light about. And I think there we go. So to fold it back up, you simply, there's the two levers that I was just clicking here that you could go aboard. I have to zoom in a little bit, but it's right here. You'll need to do it on both sides, and it'll fold up, and then you can go ahead and carry this, and this will lock into place. So that's simply what it is in view. I think this is for a Shimano cassette here, and so I will post in a little bit in terms of the assembly and the tools that are required to go and properly install a cassette to this. So that stated, I'll stop the video right here and I'll touch back with you in a little bit more once I've got things more set up. Alright, so we're going to start mounting this bad boy with a cassette from my old wheel that I have here. I'm not going to miss this training wheel, believe it or not, because I don't want to have to deal with flats anymore. So, what I have here is an equivalent cassette, but what we're going to do is we're going to, of course, get this cassette out. I know I'm going to get my fingers dirty. Should have brought a few paper towels with me, but whatever. And we're going to start playing with this thing here. Yeah. I always do a terrible job when it comes to dysfunctioning wheels. Actually, I need to go the other way. I always get the direction of these wrong. So, I think this is to tighten. Yeah. Fail. I recall, every time I always remember if I wanted to disassemble, if I always wanted to detach a cassette, I always have to make sure that I'm in the clockwise direction and just push. There we go. That was a fail. The first two times. I always take my time through these. And there we go. I've got the cassette now done. Yeah, already got. Let me get some towels. Towel just in case. Well, and we're going to use this eventually. I have a Shimano 11-speed here, and it is an 1128. So I do not need to. I really don't need much of any changes. So that stated, I wonder if I can just simply go and transfer this. Figure out what the small wheel is. There we go. Oh, how about that? Minimal work. Now, have to remember, this is not the same as what it used to be. There we go. Alright, I'm starting to hear the thing. And to make sure that you've got enough torque, I recommend, this is where you've got to go the opposite direction here now. Because you're now tightening this way, you want to make sure that it's okay. Ideally, you will have a torque meter always to make sure that you have the right amount of pressure in here, right? So I'm doing this based off of feel. I do not recommend that. I recommend you go, there we go. I don't think I could go any further anymore, and I'm going to have a real difficult time. And I mean a real difficult time. I don't know if you hear that, but damn, that is nice. Okay, so we've got the training wheels now all sorted. Now I'm going to mount this on the back side. And yeah, there's this remove before use, so I've got to do that as well. And I'm going to bring my tri-bike here once I dismount the other wheel. But I'll only go partially way through. And I will be right back. Alright, hopefully I didn't screw this up. And this is just a temporary placement. Now we're going to let this thing settle in. Hopefully, and nope, we gotta. Yep, that bottom chain has to go through. All right. Oh, I've got a while to go until I get to the bottom here. This is gonna be painful. I think this is going to be very painful. Because I've got to go all the way. Yes, I've got to go all the way. Do another quarter turn. I believe I have another release. Oh yes, I do. I have another release skewer as a backup. So, knowing I have that, I have a good extra piece of kit. Alright, so I'm gonna get this thing calibrated a little bit. I have no idea how this is gonna feel. Oh, there's nothing on the back here. I can't just simply, dismount now. And okay, well, there we go. The bike is now on. Direct drive is now on. And yeah, I'm gonna get cracking on this, and I gotta now boot up Zwift and make sure that it goes and actually reads that I'm putting stuff. I'm actually putting this on. So as you saw from as I was pedaling, you know, there's a little bit of an awkward camera angle. It's dead silent, or it's really quiet, and I like that. That way I don't disturb the neighbors. And so what I'm going to do, it's right now in the nighttime. What I'll do tomorrow morning after I've finished my long run is I will have a 30-minute bike trainer session after the long run to spin out the legs, and I'm gonna see how this thing deals with me. So, but from there, it has done very well, and yeah, I've got a chain that needs cleaning. Yeah. But aside from that, I had a 40-mile bike ride prior to this. So, that stated, I will post a little bit more once I've gone through a little bit more on the usage side and give you more first impressions once I've got everything set up. So, till then, I'll see you just in a bit. Well, here I am testing out the Tacx trainer, and I'm currently live on Zwift at the moment. The lighting's not the best, but as you can see, it's doing pretty well. I will admit that when you go on gravel, or if you go on bridges or rough textile surfaces, I'll try to show that in a little bit here, but this is a recovery day for me, so I'm not going to go too hard. But I definitely do feel it, and I'll try to record what it sounds like. It's pretty cool, and you actually will feel a little bit of that vibration in the bike. So the trainer is actually going to add a little bit of vibration, which I think is really cool. But we're not at one of those bridges yet, so I'll record here in a little bit once we get there. And apologies for the shaking. Yeah, my legs are kind of fried after yesterday. I rode 60 miles on a, no, 70 miles, excuse me. Yeah, 70 miles on some wet roads, and that was an adventure. So, but I've cleaned out the bike and here I am back again. So I'll re-record once I get to one of those sections where it's a little bit bumpier, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, coming up on a bridge section here. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a little bit of a that you definitely feel on the legs, that's for sure, which I think is really cool. Going through some of the bridges that are wooden planks, you'll feel the wooden planks as you go underneath, which I think is a really cool thing. I think we got enough now. Yeah, we do have another bridge coming up, so again, you get these cool little nits and bits as you go around, especially if you're riding freelance. You also feel it if you've got a workout session. So here we go again. I don't know if you can hear it. Very subtle, but there's this little bit of a rumbling motion that simulates the type of ground that you're going across. So in this case, you're going across wooden planks on a bridge. So I think that's pretty nifty. Now, admittedly, I am not recovered from my 70-mile ride yesterday, so I am struggling a little bit, but hey, it was just a couple of first impressions of this trainer. I will say that getting up to higher wattage does require a little bit more of a push compared to my previous trainer, but there's also the freewheel effect, which I'll show here in just a little bit. Let me get up to speed, and I'll put in about 350. Give me a moment while I get there. All right, up to about 350. And there's the freewheel effect. You will get a freewheel effect from here. There is quite a bit of a spin down, and from that, I don't know if I think it might do it more for the downhills than would for the uphill sessions, but the freewheel is in fact effective in this. I actually had another ride before this one, I think on Saturday when I was tuning this, and yeah, you can freewheel, which is nice, but I probably won't do that in real practice because I prefer to continue to put on the power. But it is a working thing in this Tacx trainer. So with that, I'll give it to a summary wrap up once I'm done with my 1 hour easy spin here, which feels a lot harder than it should be, but that's what happens when you do 3 hours at 70.3 wattage, actually a little less than 70.3 wattage, but yeah, it's been a while since I've done a 70-mile ride. So, but I would say, you know, this trainer is unique. It's different than my other trainer over here, which has served me well for the past 2.5 years, I think, or 1.5 years, 2 years at least. So, as stated, I'll report back on more conclusions and more thoughts once I finally get done with 1 hour of easy spin here, which feels a little harder than an easy spin, which I'm trying to keep it easy, as you can see with my heart rate there. Just trying to keep it steady in the low 115s. So I'll get you back to you in a little bit once I'm done with this ride. All right, after a couple of iterations with the Tacx Neo 2T trainer, I've done a threshold interval set with this just about an hour ago, and that was very, very painful. I have to say that I really do like this trainer in terms of that it's forcing me to work in a different way than I was previously with my wheel-on trainer. And I would say that there's probably going to be more testing that needs to be done, more experience with the trainer, but first impressions are that in terms of the pedaling stroke, I'm having to use the entirety of the pedal stroke. And the flywheel for this is definitely, I would say, it requires a different type of a response in terms of getting to the higher level efforts. I'm having to go a little bit earlier, but that kind of simulates what it would be like more in a real life situation where it's not that you could go and suddenly just press it, which yes you can, but it won't necessarily be as realistic per se. And what I mean by using the entirety of the pedal stroke, I'm actually having to go through here and use this upper portion as you're going through and pedaling on the upswing. So that stated, I really do like this trainer. It's making me work a little bit differently. It's making me work on some muscles that I haven't probably utilized as well as I could have from my wheel-on trainer. I don't have to worry so much about drops in power, although it's a lot closer in measurement to my Garmin Vector 3s. And I know there's going to be some slight losses because I know this chain eventually needs replacing. But the wattage difference in terms of making sure that the data is roughly about the same, there is definitely a bigger difference with the wheel-on trainer compared to this. So there's still a slight difference, but that difference is about 1 to 2% from what I'm putting from my Vector 3s to the Tacx trainer versus what I was doing with my wheel-on trainer that I'm looking at, which is off screen from here. The Ceres M2, I was getting about 5 to 6% difference, which can be quite massive. So that being stated, I do like this trainer. This is definitely a trainer moving forward for me, and there are a couple of things that I still need to try out with this, including not having the power hooked on, but again, I'm having it hooked on just because, just for the sake of it. And then, apart from that, I think there are still a couple of options that I do need to toggle, and for the most part, it runs fairly quiet. The only major noise is really coming from the chain and from the pedaling motion. Before, I would have more noise with the wheel-on trainer. So the decrease in noise is nice. And aside from that, the reading is a lot more responsive compared to the wheel-on trainer. So that's a more immediate response. And aside from that, yeah, so overall, I do like this trainer. And I think this will be my go-to buddy moving forward here, and more Pain Cave sessions to come. So, with that stated, if you do like this video or any of the content, please go and hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you want to get the latest and greatest notifications of new videos that I upload, go click on that bell button. And if you haven't already hit the subscribe or the bell, then do leave a comment down below. I'd love to get what your thoughts are of this trainer. I know that a couple of other pretty well-known YouTubers, I know Triathlon Terran does, also has the same one. And I know DC Rainmaker also has a very extensive review of this Tacx 2T Neo trainer. So that stated, I'm going to sign off from here. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.